Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to see class 12 biology chapter 4 principles of inheritance and variation. Let's have a quick introduction children. So before understanding the Mendel's law, let us think about our own families. See, some of us have our mother's eyes, father's height, or our grandparents' hair color. Yeah. So these inherited features we call as characters. To understand how such characters are passed from parents to offspring, so we are going to study about genetics. So this chapter it focuses on Gregor Mendel, so who is known as the father of genetics. He conducted many experiments using garden pea plant and he discovered the basic law of inheritance. So today also the same principles are used in many fields like medicine, agriculture, biotechnology and genetic engineering. Let's start with the topic children. The birth of genetics. What is genetics? Say imagine two siblings in the same family. They resemble each other yet they are not identical. Why? The branch of biology that explains this is called as genetics. So genetics studies two important concepts. So one is the inheritance. Yes. So inheritance means the transfer of characters from parents to offsprings. So because of inheritance only, children resemble their parents. But no two individuals are exactly alike that we know, right? So these differences are called as variation. So variation, it makes every individual unique and also helps organisms to survive changing environment. And then humans have been using variations for thousands of years. So since 8000 BC, people selected the best crops and animals for farming. For example, we can say the Sahiwal cow. It was developed through selective breeding. So genetics explain both like why offsprings are similar to parents and why they are also different. We can say like a child may inherit a black hair from the father but have the mother's height. Yes. Let's move on to the next one. Gregor Mendel, father of genetics. So Mendel's experiment. So before Mendel, scientists had many ideas about inheritance, but none were supported by proper evidence. So Gregor Mendel, he is an Austrian monk. He conducted experiments on garden bee plants. He used garden pea plants. And also, from which year? From the year 1856 to 1863. How many years? Continuously for 7 years. Continuously for 7 years. His greatest contribution was introducing mathematics and statistics into biology. Mathematics and statistics into biology. So instead of observing only few plants, Mendel he studied thousands of pea plants and he counted the offsprings carefully and he repeated the experiments over many generations. So this large sample size only made his conclusions highly reliable. So what and all he studied? He studied triads with opposite forms. What he studied? He studied triads with the opposite forms. So what and all he saw tall and dwarf plants, yellow and green seeds, violet and white flowers. Yes, his careful observations also finally led to the famous law of inheritance. Next, we are going to see true breeding lines and pea plant. Why did Mendel choose pea plants? See, now you think like a scientist. If you wanted to study inheritance, which plant would you choose? Yes, think and see. See, Mendel, he selected the garden pea because it has several advantages. First one, it grows quickly, it produces many seeds, it is naturally self-pollinating, and also cross-pollination can be done easily by hand, and also it has clear contrasting characters. So Mendel used true breeding plants. What is this true breeding line? So true breeding line is nothing but, here you can able to see, yeah, is a plant that produces offspring with the same trait generation after generation through self-pollination. For example, we can say a tall true breeding plant always produces a tall plants only. So Mendel, he selected 14 varieties arranged into 7 pairs of contrasting traits where only one character differed. So this allowed him to study one character at a time. For example, tall and dwarf, Yeah, round seed and wrinkle. Can you in this picture? Can you able to locate children and seed shape like a round and wrinkled, and also the seed color as a yellow, yeah, and green, and also flower is violet and white. Pod shape is yeah full and constricted like this. Yeah, he took characteristics. Next, we are going to see 7 pairs of contrasting traits. So the characters are studied by Mendel. What he did, he carefully selected 7 pairs of contrasting characters in pea plants. Yes, so they were like a tall and dwarf in stem, and then violet and white flower. That is the flower color. White, violet and white flower color. Axial and terminal flower position, and inflated and constricted pod shape, green and yellow pod color, round and wrinkled seed shape, yellow and green seed color. So each pair here represents one character with 2 opposite traits. Yes. So when Mendel crossed these 2 contrasting parents, only one trait appeared in the first generation. What happened? When Mendel when he crossed this 2 contrasting, yeah, characters, what happened? Only one triad appeared in the first generation. So that the visible triad was called as the dominant triad. So these are the dominant triad. Yeah. So the visible triad was called as the dominant triad, and the hidden triad was called as this is the hidden triad is called as the recessive triad. Yes. So for example, we can say, let's take this tall and the dwarfness. So when a tall plant was crossed with a dwarf plant, all the first generation plants were tall. So this observation only helped him to formulate the law of dominance. Yes. So here I have given you one line memory trick. So smart farmers feed poor people sweet soup. Nothing but the characters here. Yes. So the starting letter, you can able to see this S represent the stem height. This is the flower position and sorry, flower color. And this is the flower position. This is the pod shape and this is the pod color. This is the seed shape and this is the seed color. Yes, children, don't forget, easy to remember. Smart farmers feed poor people sweet soup. So let's have a quick revision. Yeah, Mendel's law of inheritance. Genetics is the study of inheritance and variation. Inheritance is the transfer of characters from parents to offsprings. And then variation refers to differences among the offspring. So Gregor Mendel is known as the father of genetics. He performed experiments on pea plants for 7 years. You know the year also 1856 to 1863. So hybridization is nothing but crossing 2 genetically different parents, and true breeding is plants produces identical offsprings for many generations. So Mendel, he selected 14 true breeding varieties arranged into 7 contrasting pairs. So his use of statistics only made his conclusions scientifically reliable. So we have come to the conclusion part. Don't skip the video. Watch the full video. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.